Hi, and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host today, Taylor David Wilkerson, and we are so honored to have our special guest, Kurt Schwarz, the Executive Director of Inspire Sports Camp, joining us today. They provide amazing opportunities for youth in our communities to encounter Jesus and to have a good time doing it. It's amazing. Kurt, tell us a little bit about some of the issues that are facing youth in our community today.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Pastor Taylor.
Of course.
It's great to be here.
Honored to be
there
here
are
with you,
so
yeah.
many things that our young people are going through,
Yeah.
especially in our cities. They are constantly being barraged by situations and circumstances that look to steal, kill, and destroy their lives. These things are all decision-based opportunities.
Yeah.
So they can make a decision that can alter their life in one way or another at any given moment. So at Inspire Sports Camps, we look for opportunities to present them with excellent decisions and ways to combat the things that they're facing on a daily level.
I love that. So I'd love to hear a little bit of the story behind Inspire Sports Camps. Like when, why, what, what started the vision? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, you probably can't tell, but I am a North Jersey guy.
I can tell.
So I grew up in the area, and I, living here, have always had a heart for the greater New York City area.
Yeah.
The Lord used a number of experiences, athletic playing experiences, coaching experiences, working at some of the largest and best Christian camps in the country, and along with some amazing missions opportunities to, drive my passions and lead me in certain ways. And through that, it took us to an opportunity to start a sports camps organization, which would look to serve underserved kids, both domestically and abroad.
Oh, cool.
So after several trips abroad to Central America, myself and our leaders looked at what it would look like to definitely take the same mentality, but shift the focus towards reaching and serving the underserved right here and in the mission field in our own backyard.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Our attention, as people who want to make a difference, should be global.
Yes.
In other countries, but really here as well. I love Inspire Sports Camps. You want to reach the youth in our communities.
Yes.
People hear the word camp, and I think they kind of just think fun and games.
Yes.
But this is a very important ministry. Can you tell us a little bit about that aspect?
Well, Inspire Sports Camps is a summer sleepaway sports camp experience for kids from inner cities all across the greater New York City area.
Yeah.
These kids come in to camp from about 30 different cities across our community and neighborhood.
So cool.
Including the 5 boroughs of New York, cities like Newark, Jersey City, Patterson, Passaic, as far south as even Camden and Philadelphia send us campers. And they come in to Inspire Sports Camps for a great time.
Yeah.
Sports is the draw. So they're coming in for soccer, basketball, dance if you're a female.
That's why I would be there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, sorry.
So we definitely provide high quality sports programming and coaching and training for our young people at camp. And throughout the rest of the day, we introduce them to activities that they're not normally used to.
Like what?
Zip lines, high adventure elements, hiking, fishing, archery. Most campers that come to our camp have never fished before.
Yeah.
And they catch their first fish at Inspire Sports Camps.
Yeah.
So there's amazing experiences that they get even beyond sports at our camp.
Totally.
So that's the fun and games aspect.
Yeah.
But, and that's what people think of generally when they think of camp. But the reason it's an important ministry is because we're meeting these kids and these young people head on in their life decisions. And they come to camp, yes, for the sports and yes, for the fun. But when they get there, they're met by individuals and people who love them.
Yeah.
And they're able to see new things and new opportunities that maybe they never considered before.
That's amazing. So it's really a sleepaway camp that's all fun, but then there's a lot of mentorship happening, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's so beautiful.
Yes.
I think that's a really cool thing. How is Inspire Sports Camps meeting these kids' needs? What's happening there?
The number one need that we meet in these kids' lives is the need for love. Yeah. These kids come in and they are starving for someone who loves them. Growing up in the situations that they grow up in, oftentimes the person that cares about them most is the youth leader that brings them to camp. So we train our staff that their number one job at camp is to love on kids.
Great.
Their number one job at camp is to serve them, and number one, first, show them who Jesus Christ is.
So good, Kurt.
And then share Jesus Christ with them.
I love that. I think we'd all be interested to know, well, what are some of the demographics of some of these kids? I know we've said they're kind of from all over.
Yeah, a majority of our campers obviously come from the cities I mentioned, but they come from single-parent families and low-income families as well. So, you know, we have an unofficial motto at camp. If you can afford to go to another camp, and there's a lot of great camps out there, but if you can afford to go to another camp, you really can't come to ours. We're looking to serve those who wouldn't be able to have this opportunity any other way. That's what Inspire Sports Camps was created for.
I love that. So how do you recruit these campers?
Phenomenal question. You know, everyone thinks camp, go find campers.
Yeah.
We don't recruit campers. We recruit urban-based leaders, and the better word than recruit is we build relationships with urban-based leaders. So we're looking all the time to find leaders on the ground in cities that are serving their community and reaching out to the kids in their communities with different programming. That could be a youth leader from a church, that could be an organization or a parachurch, or that could be an unofficial, untitled adult who really just cares for kids.
Yeah,
So
totally.
we'll work with any of those people that have a heart for the kids in their community and their neighborhood that want to send them to camp. And that's who we recruit first.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We actually have a really cool video testimony of all the amazing things that are happening at Inspire Sports Camps.
My experience at camp was really great. I got to go hiking, got to see like these beautiful reservoirs, all of God's creation on the top of a mountain, zip lining with my girls, the flying squirrel. Just got to get really close with my co-counselor. We're like best friends now. And I just got to see Jesus work in the lives of a bunch of little girls that I lived with for a week. It's really fun. You should come.
My cabin, like we're all sisters, like we're all a big family. So, you know, when we talk and we cry, we all cry together, we all laugh together, we all have inside jokes. It's just, we're a family.
My favorite part about camp was probably being with others and being around where you know you're safe and okay, and probably canoeing because that was fun. You could race people.
It was just such a blessing to be a part of. You know, seeing kids from previous years and seeing new kids come in, but everyone, for the most part, giving their life to Christ, and that's what we're here to do. And it was just such a blessing to see these kids grow in their relationship with God.
I'm totally coming back next year. Awesome. This is my first year, and it's just so much fun here. I can't. I just have to come.
Wow, what an amazing video of all the awesome things that are happening at your camp. Inspire Sports Camp looks like it's just doing amazing things. Kurt, how can someone who is a community-based leader gather some youth together and get involved with Inspire Sports Camps?
Thank you for asking that, Pastor. We are always looking to build new relationships with urban-based leaders who want to bring their young people they're serving to camp. So if a leader is listening right now or watching right now, they can certainly reach out via our website and contact us, because we love to get the camp process started real early in the year so that we could let them know all the information they need to know, and they can find out everything they want about camp well in advance.
That's amazing. It sounds like such a fun thing to be a part of. Where is it, though?
Camp is located very, very close, actually, to the New York City area.
Cool.
We actually partner with a camp facility called Taconic Retreat Center.
Awesome.
They're located an hour and a half north of the George Washington Bridge. So it makes it very easy for groups all over this area to get to camp.
Yeah.
And that's one of the key things is it's got to be easy to get there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, like, once we get there, what does a day at camp look like?
Well, days at camp will unfold, obviously, with wake up time, flag raising, meal time, and then we go right into sports. So our sports consist of basketball, soccer, dance and cheer for the girls in the morning, followed by a competition time, and then all the activities that we mentioned earlier: hiking, fishing, archery, high adventure, low adventure, swimming, all those kinds of things that make the camp experience what it is. But the highlight of the day comes at night. The highlight of the day is actually called club time. Now, we don't call it church service time, we call it club time, because these kids want to show up and they want to get into the club. In the club, they'll find DJs, bands, dynamic, fun skits, and dynamic speakers. And every single night, these speakers lay out a different aspect of the gospel. Those speakers and those messages are followed up with by our counselors, who are pouring into the kids and building relationships and friendships with the kids all day long during small group period. So it's a really strategic outline, and it's a really unique way how we not only build relationships with the kids, but get a chance to speak into their lives as well.
I think that's so amazing, because it's a day of fun, it's a day of activities, but you're saying that most days are ended with a time of ministry.
Yes.
How else does Jesus play a role in what's happening there at Inspire Sports Camps?
Well, quite simply, if it weren't about Jesus, Inspire Sports Camps wouldn't exist. It's all about Jesus. And one of the things that you'll see highlighted throughout the week is not just our activities and our different sessions at camp, but the things that happen that you might not even realize are a camp activity. We hear bells all the time around us, and we don't think anything of it. But when you hear a bell at camp, that is the #1 thing that could happen at Inspire Sports Camps.
What does it mean?
We call it our Inspire Sports Camps Born Again Bell. So whenever throughout the week a camper makes a decision for Christ and says, hey, I want to surrender my life to Jesus, they get a chance to go up and ring the Born Again Bell at camp. And when that bell goes off, everything stops. The whole place stops, and we cheer, we clap, we scream, and we tell them truthfully that that's just a small taste of what's going on in heaven at that time.
That's so amazing. It sounds like a really fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
How do you get volunteers to come be a part of it? It sounds like an amazing opportunity.
It is an amazing opportunity, and it's a missions experience. So we're looking for missions-minded, young adult, college-age counselors. So we are hot on the trail in winter and spring, reaching out to young adults ministries, campus ministries that really buy in and want to provide a missions experience for the young people they serve. We go in, we present Inspire Sports Camps, and the one unique thing about this missions experience is, instead of having to get on an airplane or raise a lot of money, we just ask that these young adults apply and then give of their time, their energy, and their passion to these kids throughout the summertime. We will take care of the rest.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you have everything figured out, but I'm sure there's some challenges. What are the challenges to putting on a camp like this?
I wish we had everything figured out, but the reality is this: camp is it's a very hard ministry. We're dealing with young people that may not even know this opportunity exists for them. So we are plowing completely counterculture here. And we're dealing with a group of teenagers and young people who may not have a support structure in their lives that say, hey, it is important for you to go to camp. So oftentimes the most important person in their life, and the person that cares sometimes the most, is that young adult leader who brings them to camp. So they're working overtime to try to get these kids there. And we, every single summer, are trusting the Lord that He does the work, that He brings the ones out that need camp, that need to hear about Him, that need to experience Him in a new way, and that He does the work beforehand, while they're there, and as they get followed up when they go back home.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So what are some other ways that our viewers watching right now can get involved with Inspire Sports Camps?
Yeah, one of the things that I love most about this ministry is it allows all of us to get to know so many different people with so many different gifts and talents. And I like to say there's 3 ways that people can be involved in Inspire Sports Camps. They can, number 1, serve. That's our young adult college-age counselors that serve in the summertime. That's also volunteers that give a day or a couple days of their summer to come help us during registration times or various other parts of the week. We host a number of volunteers that help us in great ways. So serving's number one. Number two is to send. And we talked about that earlier with our urban-based leaders, which we call our ISC Eagles. They can get on board and send campers. And the reason we call them ISC Eagles is because we believe that the kids are being raised up on their wings.
Great.
You know, they come in and they are able to bring campers to camp and then not only bring them, but follow up with them afterwards.
Amazing.
And the last way is another S, it's sponsor. Obviously, camp does have a cost to it. And the only way that camp is made possible is through the generosity of individuals, corporations, and churches who buy in and make camp a priority and make camp a reality for inner city young people all over the greater New York City area.
Absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for joining us here and joining our town, Kurt. It's so cool to see what's happening in your ministry with Inspired Sports Camps. If you're watching right now and you'd like to get involved, make sure you go check out Inspired Sports Camp's website if you'd like to get involved in this amazing ministry. We'll be right back after these messages.